is here. Now, broadcasting from the underground command post, deep in the bowels of a hidden bunker, somewhere under the brick and steel of a nondescript building, we've once again made contact with our leader, Mark Levin.
Hello, everybody. I'm Mark Levin. Our number, 877-381-3811. 877-381-3811. You know, most of us, when something as tragic as what happened in Aurora this morning takes place, our hearts go out to the dead, to the families, to those who are injured. We want to know who they are. We want to know who did this. We want to know why it was done and so forth. Some of us say a prayer. What most of us don't do is search for political scapegoats. And the scapegoats seem to always be the same, us. Somehow those of us who are law-abiding, who preach the value of the individual, who oppose things like abortion and defend the greatest healthcare system in the world because we embrace a culture of life, somehow we're to blame. Doesn't matter if the murderer is mentally ill, as in the Tucson case, if he's disgruntled about something, including himself or whatever. They look for reasons to find out if he has any connections to us. So the media go hunting for reasons to make disgusting allegations. It's cold-blooded. There's no compassion. They're looking to make news. They're looking to drive ratings. This is just bizarre. And it's time to call them out on it. And the political agenda always involves gun control. 16,000 people or so a year are murdered in this country. 16,000. You think they're murdered by law-abiding citizens? It's kind of a contradiction, isn't it? They're not murdered by law-abiding citizens who acquire guns legally. But it's like the global warming fraud. No amount of evidence and facts deters these people from their political ends. And besides, how would this work? I've been watching this all day on TV. How would this gun control thing work exactly? Is the government going to seize tens of millions of guns from tens of millions of Americans in our homes? How are they going to do that? What if we say no? Well, we can't round up illegal aliens, but apparently they're going to round us, those of us who own guns, are going to round us up? Or I mean, what exactly is the strategy there? Do they think it'll work? Is this the same government that can't keep foreign drug dealers from pouring over our borders? You know, as a nation, we have a right to have 24, 48 hours of mourning for our fellow citizens. There needs to be respect for the dead and prayers for the living. There needs to be a point at which the hounds are called off, at least for a day or two, but apparently not. When you have rogue, politically motivated reporters like Brian Ross and George Stephanopoulos, and somehow Stephanopoulos is getting a pass, both of ABC News trying to turn this into yet another disgusting attack on the Tea Party, trying to draw connections between the killer and the Tea Party. Doesn't get any lower than that. Boy, these people hate us, don't they? I mean, they really hate us. Truth is, if ABC News corporate had an ounce of integrity, it would fire both of them right now. Now, what can we do as a people? Been thinking about this. What can we do as a people in response to such a horrendous crime? Tell you what we can do. Shut off our TVs, go to a quiet place, and say a prayer for these people. And then thank God that we live in the greatest nation on the face of the earth. And then if you want to see this Batman movie, then by God, go see it. We're Americans. And we're not going to allow some low-life mass murderer, a coward, change who we are and what we do. And let the idiots on cable TV talk to themselves. You don't need to watch this. Let them debate among themselves. Let the idiots who anchor morning TV shows talk in circles among themselves. Bring on politicians and political advocates telling you why your rights should be curtailed. These people don't shed any light on anything. They have agendas. So don't frustrate yourself. Don't upset yourself in that regard. Focus on what matters. Now, most of you listening to this program by now, you know what happened. You know what horrific events took place very early this morning in a movie theater with a lot of kids, a lot of teenagers, a lot of young people. And when you read about some of them, like this young 24-year-old Jessica, it absolutely breaks your heart. This is why I support the death penalty, by the way. There are cases that are not close cases. This is one of them. But I want you to hear from the Chief of Police, Dan Oates, today. It's just a couple minutes. And he'll sum things up better than I can, better than all these reports out there. And he's the police chief in Aurora, Colorado. Cut 4, go.
His history with the Aurora Police Department is one traffic summons for speeding in October of 2011. We have no other criminal history on Mr. Holmes. This event began at 0039, so 39 minutes after midnight. The first calls came into 911. I'm told by a colleague, you could describe it as hundreds of calls coming in. Within roughly 1 minute to a minute and a half, police officers were on scene and apprehended Mr. Holmes in the back of the theater. There were approximately 25 officers on scene within minutes. They spent, besides searching the theater, a good portion of their energy on taking victims and placing them immediately in police cars and driving them to local area hospitals. In the end, with the assistance of our colleagues in law enforcement in this community, there were around 200 officers on scene here. Mr. Holmes was apprehended outside a white Hyundai parked in the back of the theater, and he was apprehended with 3 weapons in the car, and one was left at the scene inside the theater. The weapons are as follow: an AR-15 assault rifle, a Remington 870 shotgun, 12-gauge shotgun, and a .40 caliber Glock handgun. We believe those 3 weapons were used in the scene, and another .40 caliber Glock handgun was found in the car. We're not sure if that was also used in the scene. I imagine I will be asked how many rounds were fired. My answer is we have no capability right now of calculating that number. There were many, many rounds fired. Our best available count on injuries as of right now is that 71 people were shot and that 12 are deceased. 2 died at area hospitals and 10 are deceased in the crime scene at this time, and we are making best efforts to identify and remove those 10. There are many critical patients, and I'm not in a position to give you any update on the 59 who were injured. We believe that as part of this assault, Mr. Holmes set off 2 devices to distract the crowd. They ignited in some form and released some sort of irritant or smoke. We are not looking for any other suspects. We are confident that he acted alone. However, we will do a thorough investigation to be absolutely sure that that is the case. But at this time, we are confident that he acted alone. The suspect was dressed all in black. He was wearing a ballistic helmet, a tactical ballistic vest, ballistic leggings, a throat protector and a groin protector, and a gas mask, and black tactical gloves. We had over 50 detectives respond to the scene, including the 150 to 200 police officers and deputies, and over 50 victim advocates to work with family members. And all our federal partners are here, and we deeply, deeply appreciate their help.
They have 100 FBI agents also, and the 25 AFT agents there, too. So there's plenty of law enforcement power there. And this fellow was a Phi Beta Kappa. He was having terrible grades in his last semester of graduate school and was preparing to drop out. And I don't know if he had mental illness before, but clearly he flipped out here. And he began purchasing his weapons, I believe, starting in May. Now, I'm going to play some clips. I mostly want to talk to you. There is no politician to blame for this, ladies and gentlemen. Not Barack Obama. Not Romney, of course. I mean, it's this guy did this. It's not about guns. It's not about America. It's about him doing this to some wonderful, beautiful people. Killed a 6-year-old. An animal does that. He shot a 3-month-old. He was just popping away. I mean, if you hit 71 people, you got shotguns and other things going on in there. You know. But that said, I'm listening to arguments all day long here. You know, we should limit the number of cartridges. We should limit. I mean, did Timothy McVeigh use a weapon? Did he use a handgun? Did he use a rifle? Did he use a machine gun? Did he use a bazooka? No. You can burn buildings down. You can blow up buildings. If you want to kill people, there's an endless number of ways to do it. You can even use box cutters. I see these politicians on TV, this idiot mayor from New York who wants to ban everything. The former governor of Pennsylvania, Rendell, going on and on. I'm not interested in the liberal Democrat agenda every time we have a tragedy in this country. As if they have the answers to these things. They don't have any answers. Leave these people alone. Let your heart go out to them. Let your prayers go out to them. But let's not just turn them into another political debate. And I would say this to my so-called friends on the left. Give it a rest. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin.
Now, I listen to these 9/11 calls and some of the panic and so forth, and it reminded me of 9/11. I'm not comparing the two I'm saying but the urgency. It was just, well, you listen. Cut 9, go.
15 and 314 for a shooting at Century Theaters, 14300 East Alameda Avenue. They're saying somebody's shooting in the auditorium. 15 and 314, there is at least one person that's been shot